Welcome again, everybody, to another episode of the established 1982 podcast, the Geek Culture Podcast, hosted by responsibly irresponsible adults that have loved video games, comic books, movies, and TV ever since 1982. It's your boy, Delon's been Wally Analog, and I'm joined, of course, by my homie, the gatekeeper of civility and order, Rolls Royce. Cheers. And of course, our wish come true in the form of Wish Kid Jones.
Hello, I missed you guys.
Yes. We it's a better podcast when you're here.
I don't know if you guys hold it down so well.
I guess we do what we do, but you are the added piece.
No, I miss you guys sincerely.
It's necessary, but we are all back and here to talk about something that may have been lost in the shuffle of Doctor Strange coming out. The Moon Knight. We got to do our post game, but prior to doing that, we have to acknowledge those that have makes this possible. We so appreciate each and every one of the patrons out on patreon.com/EST1982 podcast. Come out to that website to pledge as little as $1 and your time as a listener to the podcast. And for those of you who have done that, we thank you in the form of Carrie Ledbetter, Jamal Weidman representing that Philly, Stories for Nerds, Fat Thor Edenson Ninja. That's a long name. That is a Cerebral Ninja, in case you're not aware.
Oh, he's Fat Thor now?
Yeah.
Is that a jab to you?
Yeah. It kind of is.
I love you, Cerebral Ninja.
Yeah.
I love you.
Mr. Nuts, Tori Moore, Jason Latham, Willis Kelly, JG the Chic Geek, Militant Billy, aka Mage TV, Enigmatic 52. We've named him Clifford. That's his nickname.
Cliff Star.
He knows why. The Blurred Before, and last but not least, Terrence. Don't call me Richie Rich. Thank you for your support on patreon.com/EST1982 podcast. Now, with that bit of housekeeping,
I love it.
out
Fat Thor.
of the yeah.
They know how to poke at you.
Yeah, and then Eatonson, you see what he did there? And instead of Odinson, he was Eat.
Tinson.
Yeah.
Love it. Clever.
Yeah.
Clever.
He put work into that one. He put real good work into that one. Now.
Sorry.
What?
We also have a new patron.
Oh, whoa.
Jason Turan.
That is. How could I forget my homie?
Thank you,
and if I left you off on the last one, let me say your name twice. Jason Turan. Jason Turan.
Jason Turan.
There you go. Man, that's
the family
correct.
is growing.
The family is growing, and we're thankful for every member of this family.
Tell your wife, tell your kids.
We're all going through this together.
Amen.
Moon Knight again. Now, it's not been talked about, at least not that I've seen, and not to say that I see everything, but I did find it less.
The chatter was low.
Yeah, as a result, I mean, you can't put out something as I guess heavily anticipated as Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. In the Multiverse of Madness, you can't put that out. And see, the problem was you had the finale of Moon Knight the day before Wednesday. You could go see Doctor Strange, and so a lot of people was like, Moon Knight.
And Moon Knight was a little complicated.
It was a little.
It made it easy to move on.
Yeah. It did a feature, as this is a post game kind of review. It did feature probably less action than you're used to from your main character fighting standpoint, right?
Yeah.
And I even made at the halftime a joke about the 10-minute screen time of fighting.
I think it was 30 minutes up to that point.
Yeah, it still wasn't a whole lot.
It wasn't. So if we add the last episode, because there was none in episode 5.
And the reason I was pausing and I didn't want to go into it, because when you mentioned it would have dovetailed into another episode.
Correct.
And hopefully this doesn't.
Correct.
But
it can't. It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
But I mean, you've criticized Marvel for doing the formulaic. Okay, well here's where they fight and like this one was interesting. Like I'm still processing it because it didn't follow. To me, it didn't follow the MCU formula.
No, this was one, and
Hence, you're not going to get him in the suit a lot of times,
right? And this is the
character study.
This was the TV version, as far as criticism is concerned with what they said about Eternals. This was not the typical,
They said
MCU.
that about Eternals?
Yeah, they said it wasn't a typical MCU
So
movie.
can we now take that as a warning that means?
Well, no, because
You don't have to
Eternals was
watch
awful. Now, I don't think Moon Knight was awful.
No.
Matter of fact, for some reason, I really thought it was good. Now, there's some issues.
Did we rank this shit?
I had not ranked it. I don't even know what to do. This thing is an enigma.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm in talking to you guys offline.
Let's talk about the positives.
About the but I'm going to say this one thing to go right into the positives because there are tons of positives.
Yes.
And you don't have to answer me now because maybe something you guys answer towards the end.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out what you're still processing because both of you are like, I'm still processing. Like, okay, what are you processing?
Okay, my thing is because usually my formula to rate a show or a movie is pretty straightforward. However, this one, like, okay, let's just take action as one of the elements, right? The action element wasn't a lot there, but when it was there, it was great, which then makes me mad that there wasn't more. Like,
but you have to admit the story was also
the
like
story.
certain. Right.
Go ahead. No.
Because
help me.
we're gonna talk about the positives.
Okay.
So
All right. Okay. So
and Suge Knight's being.
I actually like I actually like the story and how they interweave the whole bout with dissociation identity disorder. Right. Like I thought that was a brilliant.
Yes.
Representation of that because
Dare
how
I say that
do
saved
you
the show.
how do you represent that?
But dare I
right?
say that saved the show?
Yeah, his acting saved the
No,
show.
no, I'm talking, but even that storyline
that story, yeah,
saved the show.
And not to mention, too often, DID is mischaracterized. Quite honestly, they have you thinking that people with that
Disorder.
with that particular condition are dangerous when they're not. Very often they're not. Right. They're not too many. We've seen Split and Glass and all that stuff, and we just think people are crazy.
Glass wasn't about the disorder. It was Split that was about the disorder.
Yeah,
right?
but yeah, Split. Yeah.
I think that.
But he came back in Glass, right?
No, they came. Well, yeah.
The guy, the Beast.
Well, don't forget
the guy.
Okay, we're definitely off. But Shumna, that was a whole arc to the last movie.
Right.
Which
Correct. Yeah.
Which was Glass.
Which brought everybody together. Brought Glass and Bruce Willis character together.
Yeah.
But I actually don't think that was a bad interpretation of DID. I think this did a better job of defining it.
Yeah, but there have been sufferers up. I won't say
Correct.
sufferers, but people with that condition have criticized
correct.
Split because he's just like he's kind of a bad dude.
I think for
kidnapping
me,
folks.
they didn't define what it was.
Right.
I would think when just even use the word split means split personality, and
Correct.
it doesn't speak to the disorder. It just speaks to.
Well, that's what they called it before. They changed.
It speaks to the after effect of the personalities, not necessarily what the thing is.
And then why those personalities are created.
We're going another direction, but I don't know if Split grounded us in even why he had those personalities.
No, I don't think they did.
But I do. Well, he put a little nugget in there that remember he never took advantage of anyone who's ever been abused.
That's right.
So you knew the abuse
I guess
was
the abuse
part
was there.
of his thing.
Right. He did have a moral compass.
But all that to be said, this did a amazing job of educating you in what this disorder was and someone really dealing with it in a more, I don't use the word humane, but I think maybe more realistic for lack of a better word, because everyone has this condition, to your point, it's not like Split.
Right.
Because I think that was that on top of some other things, right? So.
Right.
So, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Ryan, please.
No. So I think the reason, to answer your question, the reason I'm still processing is because Moon Knight, like Wally said, is an enigma because it's not following this. It's not following the same cadence as the other DC Plus shows because
Disney Plus.
Disney. What did I say?
It better not follow DC.
Did I say DC?
DC
Okay.
Plus.
Did.
Disney Plus show.
Don't you follow DC?
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, hold on.
DC got some good stuff.
Yeah.
Cartoons.
My bad.
Joker.
Animation.
Disney Plus shows.
Yes.
MCU shows.
MCU shows.
Yes.
Right. It didn't follow that same cadence.
No.
So that's where I was like, okay, how do I classify this? Because basically for 10 years, Marvel has been training us. You watch the movie's going to take you well, in terms of Infinity Saga,
right.
Yeah, we're moving toward the big bad,
big bad, fight, story.
And then there's phases. You do phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and all these movies are in there, and they're
tied some way or another, even if they don't progress the story as much, like Falcon Winter Soldier.
Right. And
it was still tied to Infinity War.
Yeah, and to keep it in the universe of the Disney Plus shows, like all of the shows had something that kind of like fed back into the narrative.
Right.
Moon Knight was just
standalone,
like
about as standalone as you can get.
Right.
Completely off the grid.
Which I don't want to. The reason I'm still processing it is because I don't want to fall into that category where I'm like, it didn't give me that connective tissue, so I'm just gonna ball it up and throw it away and throw it in the trash. Right. Throw it in the toilet and flush it. Like I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
Correct. Oscar Isaac did an excellent job acting. I mean, he's
Sir.
Man.
Now the villain,
Sir.
The villain, I was having some trouble like.
Who's the villain again?
The Ahmed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my man.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke's character. Wow.
Right.
Ethan Hawke also did an excellent job.
He did a great job. Yeah.
He did. But I just didn't. I didn't connect with him as much as I did with Oscar Isaac.
Oh, because
Oscar was like out acting everybody.
He had accents
right.
that were like perfect to the exact 3. He spoke Espanol at the end, like.
Yeah, I would have. I think what Moon Knight needed was an Ethan Hawke episode, like.
It did.
Because he was motivated because I was the avatar of Khonshu at one point.
He did.
I wanted to see that. Like, why was he so?
He did. The problem was, are we still talking about the positive things?
we can just keep going.
We can go right into
just keep going.
Okay. What had happened was, because I'm happy to hear what you guys are processing over, because it's interesting that you're processing because it's not following the formula. But I think that's what also made this good. If I was to say something positive, that it wasn't following the Marvel formula.
I agree with
that.
Like
that it was refreshing. It was almost like having gelato, or you have the mint between the meal to kind of cleanse the palate. Like I wasn't really mad at it.
Yeah.
And Oscar did such a great job of playing the roles. It made it even more refreshing. And then, as we were talking about before, with the DID and the approach they took with it, made it really good. The problem was, and I could talk about this at length, but I won't, is I think that it was out of order, and I think the story dragged in places that were unnecessary, and it unfortunately made for an inconsistently good storyline. And so I think in episode 1, to answer your question, episode 1 and 2 actually did a really good job of setting up Ethan Hawke. He was in it prominently, it opened up on him, right? The only answer we didn't get is why he's walking on glass. But at the end of the day, he said it, like he was the old avatar of Khonshu, and Khonshu, as you can see as a character, was so he's very violent in the way of bringing justice. That's what stuck with him to the point that he wanted to be with Ahmed more, because she was more proactive in bringing that justice than Khonshu was, and that was
reasonably proactive,
right, and that was said 1,000 times.
Yes,
to the point that, and the way they even closed that loop was at the end. Muna even asked, like, what's the difference between you two now? Like, I can't see the difference between you two because you're both so blood hungry on getting your point or your thing across that your level of humanity is lost. So I disagree. I think what happened was we had a lot of stuff in the middle that, to your point, could have maybe helped gel this and made a tighter story. And so it's not going to be new to you guys, but, I think we could have did without episode 3 and 4. 1, 2, jump to 5. 5 was like gold.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
5 was gold. It was so rich and so decadent. And then in 6, we rushed everything. And I think that's where it lost me. I think what episode did I call you? We had to watch it 2 or 3 times. I think it was episode 3. It was like, what is this? Throwaway. It was just tossed away. And so, like I said, I agree with you. Like the story, I want to give the story like a high mark. Because it was good.
Layla needed
oh my God! Especially because she became a superhero at the end that we will see again. Yeah. And it was very intentional making her a hero. Yep. And so I just think it was a lot of unnecessary stuff in the middle that created an unnecessary pause that stopped the momentum of the story and the show.
That's correct.
And that's where it lost me. So that's why I would even gave 2 episodes for more action. Like, the action was off. This whole Indiana Jones thing was off. I just feel like that's where they lost me. And if it wasn't for Isaac's acting, I probably would have been less invested to keep on going after episode 3.
Yeah, I think they needed to make it 8 episodes versus 6.
Or keep your 6 and get rid of 3 and 4. Because, like I said, if you advance the story up from 5, just imagine watching 1 and 2. You get some of that richness from, I'll do one even better. Combine some bits and pieces from 3 and 4. Go into 5. 5 is now 4.
And then make some
and
more
it's 5 and 6 would have been the breather we probably would have needed around what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
Right.
To Rose's point, I would have enjoyed that you swapped out episode 3 for what Rose was talking about. Man, let's get some more insight into how my man, Ethan Hawke's character rose to that point where we saw him in episode 1, where he seemed to have a lot of people down with him.
I don't need that. I just
Really? I would think that might have been kind of interesting.
I'd rather see more Layla character development, more development around the gods. More God development because let's just talk about it. Let's just talk from a cultural standpoint. We're in the cradle of so much when you talk about Egypt. And they did such a great job showing New Egypt, which I thought was really, really bomb. But now here we are in Arias's tomb, and we only getting avatars. Like, I could have done with more gods. Why were there so many gods on the shelf? Yeah. We get some flashback with the gods fighting.
Yeah, unless
I would have liked some, again, action, but also some story, like the gods are fighting, how they all got on the shelf.
Have they said anything about a Moon Knight second?
No, they said this is it.
So this is it. Because to your point, there's a lot of stuff left on the shelf.
I mean,
see what
no
I did
pun
there.
intended. But I would have enjoyed a flashback with the gods. I'll do one even better. The flashback of when Ethan Hawke maybe was the conduit for Khonshu, Layla's father in that fight. I mean, we got the story behind it, but I would even rather some flashbacks than what we had.
Yeah.
And 6 could have breathed a little bit. Like, they could have broke that into 2 to allow Layla to really shine and to allow, because that hold the door open and you just walk back into humanity didn't work for me. Oh, the door's open. You were turned to stone. I came back and said, well, I love you. I missed you. And how is a heart balance when it's a whole third person y'all didn't even acknowledge? Like, that was a lot.
I was mad at myself because
It was a lot.
we didn't have to speculate at all who that third guy was. I mean, it's right there in the encyclopedia that we had, Rose. All we had to do was go and look at the book.
He is also present. Like,
he's
from
literally in
1.
there.
The episode
Full
1.
name and everything. Jake Lockley.
He was fighting. He's the one, when we said the idiot is back, he was actually referring to, not Steve. Not Steven. Because Jake does all the fighting.
Jake does all the dirt.
The dirt. So
the stuff where people are getting killed,
so
Jake is doing the dirt.
The bloody scarab, that was Jake.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kicking people out, that was all Jake.
Yeah.
Right.
But we were led to believe that it was not.
It was Mark.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
they were led to believe.
Yeah. It was only 2.
Episode 2.
Talking about 1.
No, I'm talking about the very beginning, like when
I'm
all that
with
stuff
you.
was getting kicked out of the van.
We knew it was somebody else. We weren't believe who it was.
Right. But as the series progressed, we all went back and oh, Mark was doing that dirt until the third one popped up.
But the second, actually, I wasn't convinced because in the first episode, maybe the second when he was back in the museum, when he realized there was multiple people, it was always sets of 3. Always. What I got frustrated is I felt like they could have introduced the third person earlier because they've been dropping it from the door.
That's the thing. They didn't want to do that because you need to keep. You need to be able to turn the page.
I'm with you, but when you got to 5, when you got to 5 though, and you start to have that moral conversation about coming to peace with yourself
and balance and all that. The hearts aren't equal.
I as much as I love. And by the way, I love that episode a lot.
Yeah,
but you almost are contradictory because you did not truly embrace.
Right, because you needed a third. You need a third.
And you saw that
sarcophagus.
Yes, banging.
Yeah,
it was red. We knew the third person was there. Mm-hmm.
Now I will agree with that. That's a bit of a plot hole there, right?
There's a couple of holes.
If the scales need to balance between all of what makes you
right, and only one of him, and you can't both.
You only had a scale for 2.
Because which is why they left the room. Because when he got angry when his mother was beating him, that's when the third one was developed to take on the abuse.
He was the one that would exact revenge, right? I thought he was one that he tapped into in order, because maybe he went to the service and he had to become this ruthless killer and do this stuff, right? Like he was this dude, like that guy, right? So I thought Steven was the protective guy, right?
The fact that we're talking about now makes it not clear, which could have been a better episode.
Yeah, that's why I'm processing.
Right, and so I was under the impression that every time something had to get done on a grimy level, it was Jake.
Jake, right?
And I don't know when Mark comes out, because Mark
is the actual person.
Well, see, Mark does have his own suit, and he puts in work. Like he told him, he was like, "Hey man, give me the suit. You in the bathroom, cornered by this thing. Give me the suit, man."
Right.
Give me the suit so we can take care of business.
Yes.
At the end of the first episode, Steven is in there getting attacked in the museum.
Because Steven's a kind one. Mark is the actual real person.
But Mark is saying, "Give me the suit."
Right.
He said, "Give me
the body.
Give me the body, not the suit." Because remember, both of them have suits. You have Mr. Knight, and then you have Moon Knight.
That's correct.
Mr. Knight is Steven. When Steven has control of the body, he said, "Give me the body."
Right, but that was Mark that was putting in that work.
Correct. We're saying the same thing. Right. We're saying that Mark is the actual.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just sit here quiet. That's why I'm processing. Absolutely. This is exactly my point.
Right.
Like, I'm sitting here still.
We're still trying to piece together. Yeah.
And I don't even know.
Well, but I'm not confused. What are you confused on? I'm sorry. I'm confused on what you're confused on.
I guess what I'm saying is there's clearly confusion on who is who.
No.
Okay, explain it to me then, and I'll sit here quiet.
Mark is the actual person who suffered the abuse,
right?
The actual human being.
No, I understand.
That's correct. Yes.
Steven is the persona he made up,
right,
to ignore the abuse.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Jake is the violent persona that is actually the product of abuse.
But Mark is taking that suit, is what I'm saying.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Just to clear this up. Those are the three personas. Right. We never talk to Jake.
No.
We never get a real origin story. I'm doing air quotes, people,
right.
of Jake. But clearly, because he's the more violent one, he's the product of being abused all his time.
Right.
Anger never settled.
Right.
So the whole time we're watching Mark and Steven go back. At some point when we open up to Moon Knight, Steven has taken over. What makes that interesting is Steven's not the main person.
No.
Which means that he's let his
that's right.
His docile, that's what I'm saying the right word, right? Correct. Mm-hmm. His more quiet side is now main, which is not what happened. So to bring you up to why this is weird is because Mark has always been in control. At some point, Mark lost control. Mark is the one who met Khonshu. Mark was the one who was about to die, and decided to become Moon Knight, to devote himself to Moon Knight.
Right.
That was revealed in episode 5. Right. He's the one who killed Layla's father.
Right. No, I understood that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's clear. Right. I'm very clear on that.
So we've not seen Jake's suit.
Right. Correct.
Right.
So when we open up, the mystery becomes why Steven and not Mark. How did Mark get pushed down to a place where he's not controlling his own life? He's allowing his persona to run his life. All Steven knows is that he can't sleep and something's off because he has no consciousness of Mark, which he wouldn't because you were made up.
Right.
You don't know there's another person.
Right.
Yeah.
He was disappointed. I mean, they threw us all a curveball thinking that Steven was the main one.
Correct. I.e. him calling mom. I.e. him for the love of that. I.e. not knowing that he's married because he was not the conscious person making the decisions.
Right.
So I'll pause there just to say that I'm clear on who these people are.
Right.
Yeah.
What we were talking about was that we believe and I don't want to speak for you while you jump in here, that we believe that they were keeping certain parts of Jake a mystery.
Right.
So we all would tune in and figure out, like, when you're going to acknowledge, the audience can see there's a third persona.
That's right.
But when are you going to acknowledge this third persona, which did not get acknowledged clearly until the end.
Which is another inconsistency with DID behavior.
Because
they're always in.
I hear y'all's thesis on everything, but my thing.
But it's not a thesis. That's actually what happened, though.
No, I know. But I guess what I'm saying is, what is the point? It's like we've gone lengths to explain that there's three guys. Okay, gotcha. All right, we've established who Moon Knight is. It's a guy that has DID Khonshu is taking.
And he picked him for that reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because if one of them don't want to be down with it, I got I can get at least one.
I get 3 for 1.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I feel like the series did a good job of establishing him, but like the other stuff just felt like noise at a certain point.
And that's what we're all saying.
Right.
But so as much as I got that out, it's almost like there was a rich story.
Yes.
I can't explain to you why we went to Egypt and started randomly.
Exactly. That's why I'm.
I don't know if it was Mark, Steve. It doesn't even matter. I can't explain to you why we were in the tomb. And
I mean, he was in Egypt and overnight.
Well,
he was there,
that's
just
not
there.
much the mystery of.
It was just crazy.
It served no point. Which is why I kind of hear you.
Yeah.
Which is why I said to me, you could have cut out 3 and 4. Because everything I just told you, I got from 1 and 2,
right.
5 and 6.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically 1 and 2, I got all what I just told you. 5 made it confirmed that my brain was working correctly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 6, we get to the conclusion. So I'm like, that's why I say 3 and 4 to me was a waste of time. Or it paused or put a big thing in the middle of the story that was clearly very rich and dynamic and had levels to it.
Yeah, Yeah, and this is not a slight. I'm not trying to criticize it. I think it was done well setting those folks up, but I do feel like either they needed to have a longer episode arc to establish some more things, because then at the end, it was like we were just jamming stuff in.
Yeah,
now I'm seeing
and it ended
Khonshu
weird.
and Ahmed fighting.
Yeah,
and they're life size.
Then you got the hospital, which again, if you're not paying attention, which was actually dope. See, it actually watered down dope parts, because the hospital represented what
the purgatory
is
kinda.
for Black Panther when he went to the plains.
Yeah,
so when you know when Black Panther died, he went to the plains.
To the astral plane.
Right.
They went to the field of reeds.
That was his astral plane.
Yeah, his field of reeds.
And they actually said that in the show. But see, you missed those good little nuggets, because everybody now on this theory of like he was asleep the whole entire time. It's like, no. He was not asleep the whole entire time.
Life and death.
He was not between life and death the whole entire time. He literally died, and this is his afterlife process that we're watching.
Right.
And in his afterlife,
hence the hippo and
correct. In the afterlife, you had to figure out.
It got real crazy, man. Like he was on hallucinogens.
But to your point, it was just that simple. But because of why? We had to get. It was a lot going on that clouded the clarity and the beauty of what the story was.
Right. So that brings me to my point of how does this factor into
the greater MCU?
The greater MCU.
That's a good question. Which direction are they going? Because we don't know. This was a standalone series, so
because it just ended. Mark Spector was. At the end of it,
he was in the house.
He killed him, and Khonshu like, oh, y'all thought I was gone, but I'm not, and that was really the end.
Right. That was it.
Finn.
I got somebody doing my bidding. I don't need them other 2. Since y'all don't want to do it, fine. I'm cool. I got one. He'll do it outside the suit.
But to your point, let's. I think this is a great pivot to talk about.
Yes.
Where is the MCU going?
Where are we going, man?
Right.
Where are we going?
And so can we start with the Doctor Strange?
I mean, I guess we can, man.
I mean, I spoke so greatly on it last week, but I think.
What's your take, real
But
quick?
You brought some real good points up, also.
Yeah. Okay. Point number 1. So y'all just gonna have me jump on in. Let's begin.
Yeah.
I was disappointed because I felt like, and you guys knew how excited I was about Doctor Strange.
You were.
I felt Doctor Strange was going to. 1, pick up on an awesome story of an awesome adventure.
He earned $1 in the deal.
You did $1. I thought that it was going to really be able to define and again, not wrap up or give a continuity story, but like put a nice little period on Loki, WandaVision, and give you like a sign, like go this way, right? Like just go that way.
You're on the right path.
Make it right? It did not do that.
No.
Instead, what it gave us that I strongly believe is 2 things. It gave us the episode 11, 12, and 13 of WandaVision.
No, you gave him 3. Okay, all right.
Yeah, because it was a 2-hour movie.
3 short ones. Yeah.
But basically, this was WandaVision Part 2.
Yep.
Or Scarlet Witch. WandaVision, Welcome to Scarlet Witch. I mean, they picked up right after her Darkhold, and I think this is where her story goes. Even the introduction of America Chavez was a plot for Wanda, more Wanda than it was for anyone else.
Yes.
I thought we got no multiverse action, and Ryan, I'm gonna let you talk more about because I want to steal your thunder, but 100%. Doctor Strange in the first one literally set up that for everything you do, there will be consequences. Mordo said that. We were all talking about multi universe action then. That was a whole secret and the whole basis of how this whole thing works. And I feel like we got none of that down to, I agree with you guys, Mordo was so underused.
Man.
And Doctor Strange did not learn a thing, or none of those consequences boldly, I say boldly, have come back in this movie. This was not his movie. Right. And so the other part where I do think they were trying to set up secret invasions, and I think they're trying to set up the big bad is not one big bad thing. They're trying to set up the multiverse wars that come out of secret invasions and some other things. And the reason I think they're taking the direction they're going, this is my theory and also reading and studying, is because they are randomly introducing all these characters, and when you think about secret invasions, you think about the huge multiverse war. It's not really a Thanos. It's you're fighting your other version of yourself to get control of your particular world, which is why we're being introduced to 616 and 838.
Yep.
And if you go back to Loki, this is what he was setting up. Remember, he said it's different kings, and my kings were all fighting for their particular universe, which is why I created TVA to bring some level of control. So now that's out of control. This is what we have. But here's my problem with that. That sounds great. As a nerd, I'm here for it. Boop, boop, boop. I'm reading some. But we have now entered a world of MCU where if you do not study, if you are not a nerd, all this is going to miss you. It's going to miss you really, really, really hard. Because even what I just gave you guys as a theory, I don't know if that's really what's going to happen. But I think it's just a loose theory to give them permission to keep doing what they're doing. But it's bad because if you're not into it, even see how your wheels are turning, that's cool. But this is too much. It's too much work. And I feel like in the meantime, even that's what you're trying to set up, we just had a whole beep, beep, beep movie on Scarlet Witch. And you didn't even really set that up properly. You gave me a teaser post-credit that gave me that concept of where we're going. And Doctor Strange still has not come to grips with how powerful he is and the repercussions of everything he's done. Last point. Then they had the audacity to tease it in the beginning of the movie. When he sat next to the other doctor, and the doctor said, was that the only choice? Was that really the only choice we had? And he said yes, right? That was the beginning of a story arc to me of your decisions have consequences, good, bad, or indifferent. And it did not pay off anywhere. Did we see a little maturity in Doctor Strange through the movie? A little growth on, I'm not an island. I can't do this by myself. I'm not the only Avenger and other people can help me. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad he came to that conclusion. But that's not what I wanted 2 hours of. Last bit of where I'm also frustrated where the MCU is going is, y'all, like multiverse, timelines.
See, that can get real
variants,
real bad, man.
But we have incumbents now or interseries. When you go to one universe, this is call it a thing. Because right now, in my mind, they're all the same thing. And I think you guys had that conversation.
Right. Now, I had to explain to me. This is how I explained to me. And this was the Cerebral Ninja gave me, right? Like, I haven't listened to the podcast. Because I was confused between multiverse and timelines. The way I understand it now, based on what he's telling me, is that, okay, within each universe, and there are multiples, hence the term multiverse. And within each universe, there are multiple timelines based on decisions made by those making those decisions. So now you got this infinitely endless kind of...
that track was laid in Loki.
Right.
Correct.
So let's just take Loki, one universe, right?
Endgame. Remember when she started plucking off
plucking them off. Yeah, she was,
so...
showing the Hulk that stuff. And,
that's why you got to bring them back to where you found it. I'm not disputing that, but to me, that's
a lot. That's too
much.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why you can kill, you know what I'm saying? Spider, can't do Spider-Man. Maybe that's why you can kill Thor here. But but he's all right over there. And if you kill Loki here, he's all right over here.
We were clear that at the end of Endgame, Loki was gone.
Diminished. So
Thanos said, "You're not coming back. This is not a trick. You're dead."
How many timelines can there possibly be when you factor in those timelines branch off based on decisions made?
That's not any random decision. It's not an answer. It's a problem.
It's a serious problem because let's just take 616. Forget all the rest of them. How many timelines are we?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So now multiply that by how many universes we got to go. Your girl, America Chavez, said she had already been to 72 of them in Doctor Strange.
Universes, not timelines.
No, I'm saying universes. So how many multiple timelines are there? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You take 72 times how many branches of a timeline.
But if I can wrap my brain around that, I think my biggest issue is, and this is part of the conversation we had on Facebook. No one wants to limit it, because we just finished talking about Star Wars not long ago. If you haven't listened to the episode yet, you hear about how there is some creative permission to explore and create in the universe. I don't think anyone's mad about that. I think the issue is that it's become so, for lack of a better word, random and not grounded in anything. Mm-hmm. It's frustrating. Yeah. So I know one of the things you talked about is, like, for me, just to kind of pull Moonlight through this, and I'm done with it. Moonlight took place in London at the same museum. I'm sorry, Moonlight. Say Moonlight. Sorry, Moonlight. Sorry, sugar. Moon Knight. I have to correct. I told you it's the correction police. It's Moon Knight. Moon Knight took place in London at the same.
The L and the K is the difference between the Oscar and.
You know what?
So, but
you know what?
They both have Oscar ties.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Gotta thank Wally for the witty.
There you go.
So they both took place in London at the museum. This is the same museum that in Eternals 2 people worked at, and this is the same London that a whole entire god came and just little G came and swooped up some people.
But mind you,
and no one and we didn't even get like a small line in Moon Knight.
But you know what though? That's probably another timeline.
But that's a problem.
They can do that.
But that's not okay.
What happened? I don't remember that.
But that's not okay.
That didn't happen in my timeline.
Well, it's not okay though, because that's just.
That's what I'm saying though. It's all over the place. But see, I feel like they're creating this lane to be able to drive in.
But calm down for a minute. Calm down. I guess what I'm saying is, I'm fine. I'm fine with the rules. With universes and like in each universe, there's different timelines. I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. But to your point, what they're doing now in Phase 4, where they're just randomly just throwing characters in the mix, that's where the disjointed. It's disjointed because, like, for example, Falcon was introduced in Winter Soldier, and it felt grounded. Like it was like, okay, well, yes, they need help. Yeah, this dude's helping. We get a little bit of origin story. Yeah, and now he's here. Great. Didn't take long to establish him. I get it.
Right.
But when you have a full movie where it's just like, okay, who's America Chavez again? Like
somebody they could have just replaced with another book,
right? And then also too,
but to your point, she was a throwaway, tossaway plot. It wasn't any development.
That was a plot device.
How dope would it be to just call this movie Scarlet Witch?
That's what I'm saying. She said that. The Wish Kids said that.
It's like Boba Fett all over again.
Featuring Doctor Strange.
That's correct.
And we would have all been like,
pretend there's no way home.
This was good.
Featuring
because the movie wasn't bad. Like, I don't think any of us said this. Like, it wasn't. I don't think it was a horrible movie. I think it was not an Eternals. I don't think it's as much of a toss-away as Shang-Chi, which is also not that bad.
Shang-Chi was better. Dare I say?
Oh, better than what?
Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shang-Chi was better than Doctor. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even excited.
I'm gonna say no only because. Even if they didn't call it Scarlet Witch, I accepted it as such, and so I'm talking for me as far as because I'm gonna say this.
Well, you know what? Call it what it is.
Hear me out. At least it connects back to WandaVision. Shang just came out of nowhere too, and it's still sitting over here next to Moon Knight with a K, Moon Knight somewhere in the ether, waiting for us to pluck it back when we need it. Right? I mean, at least this is the conclusion of Scarlet Witch. At least there's some closure to it. But it was
Shang-Chi is connected to Iron Man.
Sort of, yeah. With the Mandarin thing.
But see, now you're saying the same thing that I was saying. It's not that it's not true, but we're in a world now you have to study and go back and comic book.
No, they did a good job of.
It's not an obvious
connecting it though.
Well, if you don't know Mandarin, then yes, you don't. Like if you're not familiar with Mandarin as
not the character, but like I'm talking about the 10 ring, like
the actual 10 ring like storyline, not just the man.
And then you have the actual 10 rings, and then now you get the connect. Like, but see, that feels integrated. But
do you think the casual person knows that? Because I can honestly say.
But they've been saying. But I guess what I'm saying is throughout.
And Iron Man's dead. So I'm just gonna throw that there. So what does it do for Phase 4?
But I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't like so in the Infinity Saga, and that's what phases 1 through 3. It didn't matter which movie, like it didn't matter as long like the connective tissue made sense to a certain degree.
To a degree, yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
And the characters they didn't have to be super developed or have a movie.
Correct.
That's all I'm saying.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Agreed. And
even with Shang-Chi, it was like they.
And I didn't hate that movie neither. I think it's like, so I'm gonna quote Jason,
and that's why I put it over Doctor Strange, because I felt like Doctor Strange was just like all over the place.
It was.
Well, to be honest, if we all put our ratings together, I'm probably a point off from where you're on both. It's nothing like I feel like it's a major like, oh my god, what are you talking about? No. So fair enough.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna somewhat quote Jason Lathan, who is one of our star folks, and what I like what he said in him, I'm paraphrasing,
Mulligan of Madness.
The mulligan.
That's what I love.
Yeah, I love that. But the
MacGuffin
of Madness. That's not what I was going to quote, but what he made point of, because I think to your point, you said it earlier, I don't think anyone at this table is attached to everything has to like connect together like a Lego. No one's saying that, and everything has to happen in the same neighborhood, because then we had that conversation.
No.
But he said that the problem is that there's no central character.
Correct.
So for example, before we even knew who Thanos was, it was clear that Nick Fury was putting together the Avengers.
Right. He was doing it.
Period. We didn't know that Black Panther's going to be part of the team.
And for what?
We didn't know what the history was of Black Widow, but we knew that he was putting together a team. So here you go Iron Man, here you go Captain America, here you go. Because even Falcon, to your point, didn't get a full story development.
Nah.
Falcon came in as somebody who was cool, Captain America. Right. And we were all okay with it because we were putting together the Avengers. Even Ant-Man, blah, 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 blah.
And he got his development later.
Correct.
Yeah, he did.
And then we introduced to the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor. Again, to your point, whether we liked it or not, it was starting to bring together, we need y'all to get it together because it's a bigger threat.
Right.
Which Tony planted a small seed in was it Civil War? Did he plant that seed about his bad dream?
Yes. Yeah,
right. So to your point, we didn't know it was, even though we had the Easter egg with Loki talking to Thanos.
Right.
From what I understand what Jason's saying, it's like that's missing. Just some like, why are we gathering around the campfire? And I think the nerds of us are assuming it's because we're going into this secret invasion. But even much as that answers that question, again, Moon Knight, Chung, Loki, like I dare say Kate Bishop, right? Like it's
She-Hulk,
right? It's so it's almost like as much as I want to go in that direction of things, I'm still at a place of I'm not getting that central bit, and these are all starting to feel like subpar movies, which is I don't want to misquote Jason. So Jason, if you hear this and I'm misquoting you, please correct me.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do this, if you are going to do the introduction of new characters and everybody needs to be patient, you can't have subpar movies. And we can't have these subpar plots. And what I added to the conversation, you know what I added to the conversation, because another person in the chat mentioned, hey, sit back and relax. Every movie doesn't need to be perfect. Remember, we didn't really care about Age of Ultron. And they're right. And my point back to them was, but that's before a world before you had Disney shows. So now you're introducing these shows and movies. You're going to have to meet the expectation to be accountable for all this content you're putting out. Now, if it was every other movie, you're right. Sit back, relax, and wait for something to come together.
Right.
But you have these shows in between that you're also pushing hard. And Kevin lied to us. He said these shows will matter to the movies. When you have a part 2 WandaVision, that show mattered to the movie. If you did not watch WandaVision, you will be lost for Doctor Strange.
You would.
Period.
Right.
So you have to watch Disney Plus. With that level of push of content being put out and movies, no, you're going to have to do better and give me something to stick to my ribs. Wish Kid out.
Well, get ready for some non-stickable ribs.
Get ready.
Listen.
Yeah, get ready. That's another Disney movie for you.
They
be prepared.
Man, I'm not finna say that again.
What I feel nervous about is Marvel is falling prey to what they're missing. They're missing the formula that made their movie special.
Right.
And what are the variables in that formula?
Ingredient.
Right.
Yep.
So the thing that made them, to me, this is my personal opinion, the things that made them special to me is they made me care about the characters they were introducing.
Amen.
So, like, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy, I had no interest in Guardians of the Galaxy.
None.
I care about Guardians of the Galaxy. I appreciate them. Winter Soldier.
Yes.
When they introduced him, like, this is Captain America, like, you know, Bucky and, you know, Captain America, like, you introduce him and then you get Winter Soldier, you're like, wow, this is crazy. And then they pay it off in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like that Wakanda scene where he's crying, like he feels like I'm free now.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
And that was over a span of movies. And the thing that I glorified in was, or I was in wonder of, is like they threaded that needle from Captain America all the way to this point. Now what I'm seeing, and the thing that I'm getting like mad about is it's the gags now. It's like, well, it's the end credit scenes, y'all. That whole Illuminati scene in Doctor Strange. Yes, it was dope. It was dope
for about 5 minutes.
Right.
I don't care if it was 5 minutes. I don't care if it was 2 minutes. I don't care if it was 2 seconds. It was
bad.
It was bad service. It was dope. But I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
We're centering the movie around this.
Right.
Yeah.
That moment.
Yeah, we're just putting this moment in here, and we're just catering again, at this point.
To conclude that, in the Scarlet Witch movie, because that's what it was the most powerful thing that was happening. Period. Because that's all it served. It served that you had the best of the best,
right,
on a council, and it got wiped up in 5 minutes because she mad about her kids. Which again, if this was the Scarlet Witch movie, we would be mad at it.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is Doctor Strange. I mean, you actually brought Mordo back. And he didn't even like pick up where he left off. I was so disappointed.
That little fight they had in the thing.
It was, man, and I could see why my other person hated you.
Right.
What is happening?
Yeah. So, and that's the other point that I'm trying to make.
How much money did you spend on Illuminati? Not to
right,
sirs.
Right. Exactly. But that's the point I'm trying to make. You had the opportunity to have a true sequel to Doctor Strange,
and you
but
chose
this
not
wasn't
to.
the movie.
You chose not to. Yep.
You just slapped his name on it because like. You watch the first movie
and gave him an eye.
You have an antagonist that is very motivated in the things that you're doing, Dr.
And strong
Strange.
enough to go against him where none of us would have questioned it.
Right.
And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, y'all. I know, like, everybody knows my feelings on No Way Home, but like you said, if Doctor Strange is, if the theme about Doctor Strange is
he's always doing stuff, misusing his power and all that,
or just gone too far.
Well, yes, like
because he's saving folks, but he's always extreme. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the Doctor Strange was about it was an examination on hubris and all of this, and like his experience is trying to center him into becoming that superhero, that mythical superhero, right? When you have No Way Home, and then you immediately dovetail into this. That's where I was like, uh-oh. That's where my nervousness came from, because I was like, the way No Way Home played out, I knew exactly that they weren't going to call back to No Way Home.
They really can't.
They can't.
They can't touch any of that.
We watched that and Morbius and said they can't touch that
nope,
anymore.
Nope.
So you get the little joke in there.
Right.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. Yeah. Right.
No, that should have carried some weight.
The purple sky,
Doctor Strange,
like we were talking about, the purple sky. Even if you had to go deep into it, it should have been.
That was a major event.
You have gone too far,
right?
And it has to have consequences. Nothing else has to have consequences,
right?
And we talked about this.
That should have been on Baron Mordo's radar,
correct.
At least,
right?
Correct.
You didn't have to mention that, but like now I have a problem with him because
that's what's the Easter egg of the man saying, "Did you have to do that?" Because the reality is, which was also a slight plot hole. So hold on to that for a second. The reality is. You even going back and doing 182 ways that this was supposed to go down, people died. People died in the blip. The blip had consequences.
Right.
And though you were trying to think there was only one way, well, technically, in Universe 8 it was not the only way.
Right.
Technically.
That's why that scene when the guy from the first movie was saying, "Well, oh, you didn't consider
it's a plot setup because
my wife or whatever." I forgot what he said.
Because remember, the Illuminati took that out, and they didn't even have to go into a whole blip.
Right.
Right. Like
you're right. They didn't deal with it.
They didn't deal with it at all.
They defeated them. Man.
Correct. So there was more than one way, but so it's almost like
at least in his universe.
Correct.
We don't know how many universes.
Correct. So when it felt like a plot hole if we would have stayed focused on Doctor Strange and looking at the contradictory of sometimes good intentions are not enough. You know, there was no good deed goes unpunished, which was what the first one left off on. No good deed goes unpunished. You have done a series of good deeds, and you have to face them. Now, the is the end credit scene is actually saying that's what the next thing is going to be about. But that's what this was supposed to be about.
Yeah, and
right. And they'll call it Doctor Strange 3 when it's actually 2.
Because this was definitely WandaVision, the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
And what was Vision doing all of this? I'm going to leave that alone.
Yeah, and then
the White Vision. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say this, too. Like, there's a lot of folks throwing that theory out here like, oh, well, I've literally had somebody tell me this, like, oh, well, Marvel's ahead of the game, so, like, when you get to these movies in the future, you're going to look back at this one and go, genius. No,
they were able to pull them little strings a few times before.
Right.
And this doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
This doesn't feel like that. This doesn't feel like, Far From Home calling back to Civil War.
Right.
With my man Mysterio in backstage. This doesn't feel like that.
The questions I ask is, am I going to be emotionally invested in America Chavez when I get to...
You don't have to. You don't have to.
But
because America Chavez represents that we can go through universes. That's it. I think your emotional investment will be in her, or probably better appreciate it once they figure that out.
But they're not going to figure it out because they've done the cheap route. But that's the point I'm trying to make.
I guess the only way I'm slightly different is I'm not going to celebrate nor knock America because I don't think this is about her.
I'm not knocking her.
No, I mean, I'm saying differently. And I mean this in the most positive. I'm not paying any attention to her.
Right.
Because I still don't think this is even about her. I think this was all about Wanda.
Exactly.
And because of that, she was, to me, how we introduced Falcon. Like you had a line, you had a point, and later on we'll probably see where that goes. But in all the movies, Falcon, it was not about him. He did not get a movie or show until recently. Do you know what I mean? And we all just accepted that you can fly, you have army experience, and you're somebody cool with Steve Rogers. So in my mind, America, you can travel universes. You're not a student. You're not cool with Doctor Strange, and I'll see where that goes.
Right.
I'm not mad at how because I said to him, I don't see how you could have introduced her without giving her own movie, because her power and where she came from at this point in the timeline is so out there,
right,
that until you started getting into universal conversation, it will never fit.
Correct.
It will never fit.
Right.
So I'm kind of like neutral on it.
I'm happy that she's in the universe. I don't think they use Doctor Strange's movie to.
I hear you, and that's I'm not saying you're digging it, and I'm not knocking you for knocking it. I think again, my brain is like, oh, it makes sense to a WandaVision movie, because that's what it was. Well, because Wanda needed a way,
she needed something to pursue,
or something. She needed a device. Now, to your point, unless we don't know where they're going with Chavez, looking for the book alone would have been it, and that still could have been very Doctor Strange.
Yep.
But
I think I mentioned that in the cast.
Chavez is doing this now.
Yep.
Right, because somewhere down the line,
she's making portals like Ned.
Somewhere down the line, we're going to have a universal, a universe fight and conversation, and they were trying to set that up, and unfortunately, they neglected Doctor Strange and whatever they're trying to do, which I think was all what we're all saying. You
right.
And to my man Jason, you're neglecting what we all, and I can't even repeat what you said because I feel the exact same way you feel, right? Like, you're neglecting what made this magical to begin with, the MCU magical. Like, you guys are like, you're literally sacrificing that to just push stuff out, and I feel like.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. I think,
and I've been saying that.
I think what Marvel Studios has to be conscious of is whenever they make. Marvel Studios has always made those, like, they'll hire a director and then they'll fire a director because it's not following the formula. And I think that was a symptom of this movie and No Way Home, because technically, I think America Chavez was supposed to be technically in No Way Home.
Yeah, that'd have been one too many MCU characters.
So that's why we got Ned.
Trying to separate from the MCU.
Right, that's why we got Ned doing all this stuff.
Right, that makes sense.
That does, because she could have pulled people through.
That makes sense.
And they fired Scott Derrickson, so they were like, we got to put her over here.
Sir, I mean, right, because you have to use it in a universal state. Like
Scott Derrickson was going to do a true Doctor Strange sequel, I felt.
I think so too, because I mean, you're right, because I think they changed the look and feel of it. It had a whole nother.
It was gonna feel strange and horrific because he's going into the he's diving into the multiverse,
and he has
and the Darkhold was probably a part of that storyline, and Doctor Strange probably would have.
Remember, they took Doctor Strange out of WandaVision. Remember, he was supposed to be in that because it's
Yes. So there we go. This movie.
Spider-Man complicated everything, right?
No, the politics complicated everything.
True enough.
That's a good point because Doctor Strange was heavily talked about in WandaVision.
He was teased in it. Matter of fact, one of the commercials was something about him. And I mean, I'm going to touch how we even teased the fact about Nexus, because Wanda's a Nexus being, and so is Chavez. And I'm surprised. At least for that never got brought up. That's why you'll never see another Chavez and you'll never see another Wanda.
Right, but Wanda was seeing herself very well.
Sir.
All kind of different instances of her.
And you're supposed to be a Nexus being. So here's my question. Is Wanda a Nexus being or is the Scarlet Witch a Nexus being?
I don't know how one can and can't be.
Right, because the Scarlet Witch is a Nexus being. Then
she
you can
is
see
Wanda.
Wandas.
It's like...
And to your point, she dies in Doctor Strange.
Did she?
Quote unquote.
Yeah, in that.
But there's so many versions of it.
Right.
I would say
who cares?
She came to consciousness under Doctor Strange.
Right.
I wouldn't say she's necessarily dead because she's super. You can't kill that many people and then you just pull a building down on yourself.
That's correct.
Because you literally fought the Illuminati, which is somebody, Professor X. I'm sorry that your
homie got folded up.
Yeah, he got folded up. I mean, you had like the strongest of the strong. And they couldn't take her down. So you're gonna just throw a building on. She's not dead. I think she's gonna go back into a time out herself, right? And whatever that looks like. But
the thing that I'm scared of too, and I know we gotta wrap up. By these events happening in that universe, that kicks off. You just killed Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
You killed.
In
Captain Carter.
What does that change in that timeline?
Right.
Nothing.
It don't matter. They won't go back to
we'll never visit. They won't never visit 838 again.
Pause there.
They're not going back to 838.
Here's the killer though. And old girl went back to 838 too. So all's left in 838 is the love interest in Mordo because everybody else is dead.
Because everybody is gone.
Right.
With the memory of being visited by these other folks.
And then last question. Did Strange pull the corpse from 616 and brought it into 838?
They were fighting. No, they were fighting in 616.
They were fighting in 616.
They were fighting.
He was channeling from 838.
I see.
Yes.
He was channeling from 838, but they were fighting on 616.
Okay.
Which is why he had to pick the corpse because just like when Wanda did it had to be in that.
Yeah.
Right.
That
it's the corpse that they buried.
You have to possess something in that time frame.
Right.
You just can't insert yourself because otherwise, I was saying it to him earlier. Then she could have been with her kids if she could just transport herself into another.
Right, but it's temporary.
It's temporary.
It doesn't last.
Yeah. Yeah,
you have to possess a body.
I hate the
new rules.
I hate the bending of the rules. Like Wong, she throws him off a cliff. This is a guy that can go into another portal
and land somewhere.
And land on a bed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's hanging by a thread off of this one.
Bro.
Okay,
come on, man. And you the Sorcerer Supreme. Hand in your card, sir.
He is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, he is the regular. He's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah. Now, he ain't no regular dude.
I mean, okay, before we go, is there anything we did like about this movie?
That we did?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, not for y'all, because y'all did the review. I apologize.
Yeah.
Was there anything that I liked about this movie? Yes. There were a couple of high points. I liked something that y'all didn't like. I did like the musical fight. All right. I thought that was actually very creative, but we're not going to go there, because y'all already talked about it. I was going to be on record that I thought it was cute.
Gotcha.
I did enjoy, I do think Elizabeth acted her butt off. She did. She
was very good. Yeah, she captured that mom.
She played the star of her movie very well.
She did play in her movie. She got second billing in her own. I
think that's the best I've seen her character since she's been on screen. Because she's also been with this for a very, very, very long time.
Villains are more interesting, man.
I mean, but her story arc has been really interesting. She really played.
She could have been the big bad, but
that's correct.
She technically was.
I think she still could be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But I do want to just give props to Elizabeth. Did a really, really good job.
Yeah.
She's a problem.
Yeah, she's a real big problem.
Big problem. and I'm here for all of it. And I feel bad that we did not get to see more from Mordo because I think he's an amazing actor as well. This is like another Oscar via Star Wars. Like you just completely did not use him. You paid him a check. He was there for funsies.
He was just sounding like a jealous dude. He was a jealous
for
dude.
Funsies.
Right.
Yeah. But all in all, you know how this goes, guys. We're gonna go watch the next one, but I am watching with a bit of hesitation, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I think I'm gonna take a step back for a second. Like I'm not as excited about the MCU as I was. Join the club, at the top of the year.
There's room on this.
We're gonna watch it. We're gonna see
somebody else.
But I think I know I read the House of M, and I was like, okay, at this point, all I have to say in conclusion is, please do not mess up X-Men.
Yeah, I know.
And that's all I got.
You talk about Unforgivable.
Don't mess up.
You talking about
Oh, and I don't even say this. Or the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Get
especially after having some less than stellar Fantastic Four offerings already. The fans are fully expecting them to make that like one of the best movies.
Make it right. Do right by it.
In this phase. And
that's
if you don't,
that's all I got. Just tell my stories
who am I kidding? If they don't, what we gonna do?
What you gonna do?
What you trying to do?
Nothing.
We're gonna start watching.
We're gonna be right there after whatever flop they put out.
Let's put some positivity into the universe and say, hey, MCU, we see you, and we hope that get your act together because we want to be excited again. How about that? Is that fair?
Thor and Black Panther are going to be the most watched movies this year.
Black Panther, Black Panther really can't offer. Ryan Coogler can't afford to. I'm confident in that one. I'm confident in that one
because they're probably gonna let that happen. But I think our beef is not these individual movies. I think our beef again is
the
make
goal.
Make it make sense. Mm-hmm. And again, to quote Jason, I think if we were getting stellar movies, we'd be okay. We'd be okay.
But we not.
That's the call to action on that too.
Now, mind you, I'm okay with having the standalone movies.
Yes.
With Marvel, but I think the problem is there's been so many years. The fans are not they're gonna want those end credit scenes.
Right.
I don't care about the end credit scenes. Listen, when we all,
but they don't care. Like,
but this is my first conversation with Wally. I was afraid this was going to happen. I literally said I'm scared that MCU is going to do something where it's not going to feel cohesive, and I got a lot of pushback with the same thing. I don't care if it's a stand, but we do care because we just finished saying that about Moon Knight. We care that there's some level of like, where does this belong? Where does this go? Because it feels incomplete, and I have issues with the content itself. It can't be both. I'm sorry. I think the one thing we have not complained about, and you made a really good point, was Falcon Winter Soldier. It was well done. I think it was complete. And I have yet to even question in my brain, where does that fit in? I probably brought that up on how come they didn't see what's going on with the rest of the world, but I haven't questioned because it was actually really well done.
Yes.
So case in point, something got to give. It can't be this and half boo boo.
Yeah, it can't be.
Yeah, but their end credit scenes for Falcon and Winter Soldier was leading to something like with the Thunderbolts and
creation of those.
I guess. Yeah, I expect
putting together that team, U.S. agent.
Right.
I'll say this different. The end credit scenes cannot be the only thing that points to the next direction.
Right, exactly.
That I'm with you on.
Right,
that.
right.
If that's the only,
it has to make sense.
Because Doctor Strange is just the only way I got to the place I got with Secret Invasion and the larger fight because of that end credit scene. Because nothing in that movie told me that. So I agree with you.
Right.
That's a problem.
The end credit scenes are starting.
They're getting worse.
What was on Internals?
That Blade trash.
Case in point, we can
and Star Fox.
Oh,
yes.
Where's that? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 1982 podcast.
Established 1982 podcast on Instagram.
Here's our end credit
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, join Patreon. That's our end credit.
EST1982podcast.com is the website. Patreon.com/EST1982 podcast if you would like to pledge your $1 to the podcast.
Join the conversation.
Where are we going? Where are we going? Where in the hell are we going?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
She easier to find than where the MCU is going, apparently. Waldo is easier to find.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, holla at you.